Welcome CSC200 class for database management concepts. I already have a video doing this for the CSC230 course, so I'm going to run through this pretty quick, and it's going to be basically setting up your workspace to share with me so that I can see all of your files. It'll make things a lot easier when we work on our databases, but it'll be a little bit different than the CSC230 class and setting up that folder. So I'm going to go through that right now. And again, I'm going to go a little quicker, so if we miss anything, we have another video to look at that has a lot more detail. So I'm going to go to my login, and keep in mind the login is c9.io/login. It'll take us to this Cloud9 login area, but for whatever reason, if you don't see this, if you get to the AWS, which is the Amazon kind of interface that you'll first come to, it may be a little confusing. And what I'd recommend is just coming down here to the bottom right corner and using existing c9.io customers, clicking on that button. That will bring you into the old Cloud9 interface or the old Cloud9 logo. So this is where you want to log in. So I'm going to log in right now, and I'm going to log in as a student. I made a student account in addition to an instructor account, so I'm going to log in. And when I sign in here, I have a workspace for my 230 class, which is fine. You're going to be able to have workspaces for other classes in here. You'll only have one account for your Cloud9, but you'll have different workspaces. So I'm going to create a workspace now for my CSC200 class. This is the one where we're going to be working with databases. So if you have the sample database one, you could delete that. And I'll just show you this. I don't want to delete this, but if you did have one set up for the sample database, in order to delete a workspace, that's what this is, you could basically click on an existing workspace, go to this options here, the settings kind of button, and then scroll down, and you'll have a place where you can delete your workspace. So if you do have a sample one set up, if you originally did that, you can delete it here. I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to go back, and I'll just go back to my dashboard. And I'm going to create a new workspace. So I'm just going to hit on this plus sign here, and I'm going to call my project just like we did for the 230 class. If you're in that class, we're going to call it CSC200, and I'm just going to put dash, and I'm going to put rich. That you could just use your first name. Don't use any spaces. Don't use any uppercase letters. Just call it CSC200 and put your first name there. And then just call it my workspace for CSC200 Spring 2018. That's all you need, and it's very similar to what we did for the CSC230. And make sure it says Team WCCC Students. Make sure it's public. And when you come down here to templates, instead of using this one, which we did for the 230 class, you're going to use the PHP one. So we're going to click on this, and you're going to hit Create Workspace. Okay, once your workspace is set up, you'll have a README file there, and you don't really have to do anything with that right now, so I'm actually going to close that up. And this down here is your console, and it's actually in what's called the bash console, and we are going to use that. So you could leave that there right now, but we don't really have to do much with these three files, but this is your workspace. But the important thing that I want you to do first is share your workspace with me so that I can see it. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on your workspace or select it, and then you're going to go up here to share, and you're going to invite me. You're sharing your access with me, and all that you're going to do is type in HOMA WCCC, just like that, and you can uncheck notify people via email. I don't need an email. Since I already have a username, you could just put it in exactly like that, no capital letters, all lowercase, and you're just going to hit invite and hit OK, and then hit done. And that's it. It'll be shared. So there's nothing else you have to do right now as far as that goes, as far as sharing. But what you will do, and you'll have to go back to our e-learning or MyWarren for that. And if you go to Documents and Resources, what we'll do is we'll set up our MySQL and our PHPMyAdmin. And I have some links here. We're going to have lots more of links that are here, but I have a couple set up. And you're going to use the Setting Up MySQL to start, and you just click on that link. And it's real simple. If you just scroll down, all you have here is MySQL-control start. And you could even copy this. You don't need a $ either. Just copy that because the $ will be there in your bash console. So you could Control-C or Command-C if you're on a Windows or Mac. And we're just going to copy that MySQL-control or CTL and then a space and start exactly like that. And we're going to go here and we're just going to put it right here. We'll put our cursor there and just paste. And you can see it'll have the $. You don't want two $, just one. And now this is kind of, command line. This is like terminal. And, if you had to go back, you'd have to use your cursor. Now what you want to do now is just hit return or enter on your keyboard. And it should say installing SQL and doing all that. So if you see things happening, it's showing your username, which is the one you use for Cloud9. And it's even showing a database name of C9. So that's what you want to see. I could even bring this up a little higher here. And it's looking for some tables and things like that. We can work with SQL right in this bash interface. I don't know if we won't do that right in the beginning, but we can do that. But it is giving us some information here. So my username is Richard Homer, whatever your username is to get into Cloud9. And then the database that's set up by default is C9. So that's all we need right now. And you can see it restarts here. So the bash restarts. And we're going to do one other thing. I'm going to go back to my Warren, and I'm going to go to setting up PHPMyAdmin. It's another link that we have here. And there's a video. And for some reason, these videos, they run through them really quick. So you're better off just looking at the steps down here. And we already did this one. We already started MySQL, so we don't have to do anything. But what we do want to do is use this PHPMyAdmin control install. We don't do a start, we do install. So I'm going to copy this just like we did with the other one, except this is PHPMyAdmin. That is the interface we're going to use to work with databases. Instead of using the bash console, it's a piece of software or online software that we'll use. And so I'll copy that and I'll go back here and I'll go right to my next line where it starts off with the $, and I'll just paste that and I'll hit enter or return. And you should see some text there. And now one thing it does say, and this is really important, it shows me where to get to my PHPMyAdmin. And I just want you to see how it sets it up. If you look at the address here, you can see it uses kind of a secure address. It's your username, it's actually your workspace, CSC200-rich. Then it's dash your username, and then it's .c9users.io/PHPMyAdmin. Now we'll bookmark that somewhere so you don't have to remember that, but just be aware of that's how it uses it. So I'm going to click on that and I'll just say open, and it opens a new tab and it says open the app. So I'm going to do that. And here's our PHPMyAdmin. Now a couple things that it said back here, right in here. No blank password, but you put in your username. So we're going to put in our username of, I'm going to use Richard Homa, and your username is whatever your Cloud9 username is. So whatever your username is for Cloud9, you're going to use that. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put in that Richard Homa, and there it is. It's coming up. No password, leave it blank and hit go. And there it is. Now we're in our PHPMyAdmin, and here's the C9 database. Now if I click on it, there's nothing there because it's a blank database. And we could rename this, we can add databases, but that's all we need right now is just to get in here and see our C9 database. We're going to do more with that. We're going to add databases, but that's all we need to get set up. So for this video, we're gonna stop right there. I could even close this, but keep in mind of what your URL is, because again, it's your workspace dash your username .c9users.io, and then it's going to be /PHPMyAdmin. So we'll have to bookmark that, but we'll be able to use the little area down at the bottom to kind of link to that at the beginning. So I'm going to close that up for now, and I'm even going to just sign out of here. So I'll log out, and that's all you need to do to get started for this.